What are we doing here, hon?
We're doing a full garden tour. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, everyone. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I have my coffee. We've had breakfast. I'm sweating. So this will be probably as short as I can make it. We'll have a look first at the front yard, or the front part of the garden. This is right by the veranda. Last night we saw a hummingbird moth on the milkweed, and all the flowers are really starting to come into form. It looks really great just sitting here after a hard day's garden, looking at the flowers. Up by the house, my mom has 7 raised beds that Jason built last year, and because Jason and I got here end of May, middle of May, we weren't able to put up a lot of protection. We do have some shade cloth, but we don't have any pest protection. So we have seen the white moth, and there is some pest pressure, but it's interesting that we're still getting really good harvests from the different things that we have out here. Lots of lettuce, salads every day, either lettuce or kale. If you don't like kale, a little hint for you is to try kale. Get some from the farmer's market, because you're not growing it if you don't like it. Get it from the farmer's market and chop it up into small pieces. Put some Caesar salad dressing on it and let it sit in the fridge for the afternoon before you have it for dinner. We use Brienne's. We happen to like that brand. It's really good, but try whatever you like and see if that works for you. This is bed number 4. Bed number 4 has, what's this kale called?
Lacinato.
Lacinato.
Dinosaur.
It's the only kale that's having any pest pressure, but there's still plenty of kale for us to eat, more than enough. And Mom also has some cute little eggplants that she probably needs to pick. But the best part of this number 4 bed is the Terry King kohlrabi. And Jason has put his coffee cup next to the kohlrabi, so we think it's a contender, really. Might put that in the state fair. We'll see. You're looking at bed 3, and we have in beds 2 and 3 some purple kohlrabi, lots of kale. We had a lot of lettuce, although a lot of it has bolted. But I just harvested the broccoli. If you happen to live in a place where it's hot and humid, the broccoli butter stem is a great option. Didn't bolt even though it was really hot, and we just harvested enough for dinner. Raised bed number 1, Jason planted when we got here with beets, turnips, radishes, and carrots. Everything is doing lovely. Radishes are gone except for the ones we let go to seed. We'll eat the pods. And the turnips are beautiful. He put some chaff here. This is the coffee chaff. And he's noticed that there's quite a few more ladybirds here on this particular bed. We're harvesting a little bit today. I'm gonna do a little bit of turnip. Well, I had to find one. This is the haikuri, or snow apple turnip. Probably another really good option for anybody in a warm climate like Southern Illinois. It hasn't bolted, and they stay really nice even when they get big. Very tender, juicy, and delicious.
Yeah.
We've planted up the sweet potatoes. We also have some tomatoes in pots and bags. We are using Bill and Val's method of just weaving the tomatoes through the fence and just growing it along the fence. We're in the back 40, particularly the squash field. Jason's running some mulch experiments out here, and it's already paying some really good dividends. You can see on your right, these have been mulched with the wood chips, some with dried grass, but the one directly in front of me hasn't been mulched. Last night it rained pretty hard, and you can see how much damage or, dirt the plants got on them because of the rain. So this is really working. really a good point for doing the mulch. Jason's left these two areas blank in this particular row. One is tilled, the one in front of me is tilled. That one over there is no till, and we're just going to see what the weed pressure is in comparison to those two. We have winter squash and summer squash planted out here, about 13 or 14 summer and I think 10 winter-ish. Oh, right, and we have watermelon, one watermelon, maybe two, and then another kind of melon. These two rows is where we grew the early spring peas. We pulled them out and we just stuck in a bunch of orphans of things that we didn't have room for, but we also planted some bush beans, and so we have tomatoes and peppers and eggplants here, and we have one bean with the most beautiful little flowers on it. It's a volunteer. In the next row, we have my mother's heavily planted pole beans. These are green beans. We also have peppers, onions, and maybe an eggplant. It's really hard to see. The beans are a little bit out of hand right now. This netting is short. It's not working as well. I'm having the same problem on the other side. This is where I planted very responsibly and thinly my cucumbers, and they're still a nightmare. So yesterday I used the clips that we don't like for the tomatoes on the cucumbers, and that seems to be working. They're super happy. They just want to take over everything. We've got onions and garlic. We're going to save the garlic for another video. We feel like there's going to be a lot of lessons learned about garlic this year.
Clay is kicking our butt.
Yeah, it is. This is a good example of how much it rained last night. These spare tomatoes are floating. Jason's going to rescue them when we're done, but we haven't decided what we're going to do with them yet, so they're just hanging out. Wanted to thank everyone for their comments about pest pressure. Jason is using coffee chaff on this side, and also there was rye grown in this bed. So thanks everybody for the comments about pest pressure and what it might be. On this side we have other eggplants being eaten by bugs, also kohlrabi, and the beautiful comfrey plant that is making a recovery after being harvested.
That's actually collard greens, not kohlrabi.
Oh, you're right. I need more coffee. It's really wet, so we're not going to walk through the tomato area. We had a video not too long ago, just a couple days ago, about this area. Anyway, we feel really lucky. We had a really bad windstorm. Ooh, I forgot the name of what that's called.
Straight line.
That's the, yeah. The cattle panels worked great. We only lost one branch off of one plant, so it was really good protection for these. Yesterday I planted a little flower action in the front because we have so many plants.
I'm sorry. I can't control myself.
We're gonna wrap up our tour in the orchard area. This is kind of a little sort of dumping ground for the bokashi. There's a lot of sunflowers back here. We have our beautiful apple trees that are growing like crazy. Didn't make any apples this year, but maybe next year. It's just a really fun little area. We also have some very small, just started pumpkins. I know they're a little bit late, but they might have time to grow some pumpkins. And in the background you can see the 1-year-old asparagus. We have, of course, let them go to frond, and then we'll be cutting them down in the fall. There's two areas that Jason has kindly asked me to ignore. They're their own special thing, and they're doing their own special thing, so he'll have videos about those two areas coming up. So thanks everyone for watching. Stay awesome, and have a great weekend. Happy Canada Day!
4th of July.
And 4th of July!
America.